A Florida woman got into trouble at a Walmart self-checkout after she stacked multiple clothing items together, but only scanned a few of them. Store employees believed it was a deliberate attempt to steal, while the woman insisted it was just a misunderstanding. Responding officers arrived at the scene, and their body-worn cameras captured everything, from the questioning to the tense moments when she was confronted. Now comes the Bodycam footage.
Hi.
Have a seat.
You know where this could pay for the stuff because I didn't understand how to work it. I know I
need to
just
verify first and we'll see.
because I just was like putting it through.
Just have a seat. We'll go through it all, and once we figure out what ain't been paid for, then we'll do it.
Do you have any idea on you at all for anything?
I just love this. That's all.
0414.
What's your first name?
Tennille.
Geisha is your last name?
That's my middle name.
Middle name, okay.
It's fine. I thought it like because it's the same
Too
thing.
many items to be a misunderstanding.
I had it.
Here, the situation takes a dramatic turn. The officer immediately dismantles the woman's claim of a misunderstanding by quantifying the alleged crime not 1 or 2 items, but 23 items totaling $211. This is a textbook example of an interrogation technique shifting the narrative from a plausible error to a clear pattern of behavior that suggests intent, putting the suspect on the defensive.
I don't get no trouble. You all run my name. I don't get no trouble.
That's what everybody says when they get caught stealing.
No, you run my name, right? You run the name. I don't get no trouble.
First time for everything.
It just was a misunderstanding. It wasn't intentional,
No.
officer.
A misunderstanding is 1 or 2 items, not 23.
Officer, like
Not
I said, I didn't
$211
understand the machine. Like,
As her initial explanation fails, the woman's strategy shifts from logic to emotion. Her repeated pleas about having 2 small kids are a clear attempt to invoke sympathy and appeal to the officer's discretion. However, his direct response, "you should have thought about that," shows how training kicks in, forcing him to remain detached from the emotional appeal and focused on the facts of the alleged offense.
officer, please. Like, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't serious, officer, please.
Is she living over here?
No, she's
No, I just on vacation. It just wasn't nothing. It was just a mistake.
When are you leaving?
I'm leaving on Friday.
What's that?
Friday. It's just a mistake, officer. Just please. I have 2 small kids, please. I'm not from over here.
Just because you're not from here doesn't mean that you can steal.
No, I'm not stealing, officer.
You didn't steal.
No,
You
it's
didn't
just.
scan those items. And you
No,
walked
probably
out
was like
after
where I
paying for
was
it.
rushing because my cousin keep calling.
Okay.
You see, I was on the phone. My cousin keep calling. I was trying to help scan everything. Like it wasn't intentional, officer. Please. Can I just pay for the mess?
The officer's statement, "we're beyond that," marks a crucial point of no return. It signals that the window for negotiation or paying for the items has closed. It's plausible that once law enforcement is officially involved and the store has presented evidence, the protocol no longer allows for a simple civil resolution. The matter has now escalated into a criminal investigation.
Very intentional.
I was on the phone. My cousin keep asking where we was. I was trying to have cash, and some of the stuff probably just get missed. And probably I was grabbing, like, please, miss, please, mom. It wasn't intentional. Like, can I just pay for it?
So like for that, just stop saying the same thing. Because it's not. You can't do anything.
I just want to pay for it, please. I can't get it.
Hello. Help you.
I just come to another office. I think it was my cousin in there.
Yeah.
Sure. I wanted to know
You want to know what?
did she get everything for her?
Well, we're still working out that. Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of items that she didn't pay for. It was over $200. So I'm not sure if you know where the self checkout is. There's cameras right there, and on the videos it shows her not scanning a lot of items. So it's like $230, $250 she needs.
So can she pay for it?
Walmart doesn't want her to pay for it. No. So yeah, we're still trying to work it out. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. Where are you gonna be at?
I mean, I'm from the Bahamas. Never rented over there now, but I want to go out and have a house.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like another 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Where are you gonna be out outside or something? Okay. Alright.
What she said?
Oh, they're still at the store. She just, I don't know, one of your family members. Just want to know how long it's gonna be. That's all.
I didn't need to do this.
The moment the officer commands her to stand up, the verbal confrontation transitions into physical processing for an arrest. The store's decision to pursue charges officially removes any remaining discretion from the officers. Her fate is effectively sealed. The dialogue now shifts entirely to the procedural consequences going to jail and the mechanics of posting a $500 bond.
Okay. So, yeah. It's about 45 minutes from here. I could give you the address. Where you're staying at? You're staying in Orlando?
Yeah. He just come last night.
Yeah.
My God.
So, I don't know. Y'all from the Bahamas?
Yeah.
So, I don't know how it is in the Bahamas. When you go to jail, you have to pay to get them out. That's how it is here.
Oh, you have a place?
Yeah. So, if she doesn't pay, then she has to stay to jail until tomorrow when she sees the judge.
She has to go before a judge?
Yeah.
What? So how much you have to pay?
$500. That's to get her out of jail.
To get out.
To get her
And she
out.
don't have to pay that. She have money. That's like I told the officer. She was saving for this trip from January, so I don't understand why she
So,
would do something.
What's crucial to note is the officer's commentary to the family member on the phone. He mentions arresting others who had enough cash to pay but chose to steal instead. This reveals a common psychological frustration among officers dealing with petty theft, the seemingly irrational choice to risk criminal charges over a solvable financial transaction, highlighting a disconnect they often witness between means and actions.
So, yeah. So I can give you the address. I think, and then everything that she did purchase, I can give to you so you can take. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Please don't press charges on me, please.
Oh, I'll move. We're not ready to go just yet.
Can I get my ID before I leave it?
I have your ID.
That's my thing when I go to
Stand still. 1915, like that female's 1015.
Please, guys. Please just give me, please don't press charges, please. I will pay for it. I'm very sorry. I have to pay. Take this. Please. Please, guys. Mom?
I already told you that we cannot go back. Once you're here, you pass point of sales, we cannot go back.
I didn't mean to. I just thought everything get cash
It's one
on
rules.
one
It's not
thing.
our rules. So
I thought everything get cash on one thing.
comes up here.
You copy and paste?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do right now. Let's see if it lets me. Sometimes
I thought everything get cash on one thing.
shift.
No, yo creo que no sé por qué tú usas esas líneas.
I have to do it.
Tienes que usar
Line by line.
Under release.
The formal reading of the charge, retail, petty theft, and the explanation of the bond process solidify the legal reality. The conversation about using a bondsman versus paying cash introduces the suspect to the financial ecosystem of the justice system. An act that began with unscanned clothes now involves navigating a complex and costly process that will extend far beyond the walls of the store.
$100 with a bondsman. Could be more, could be less.
Oh. So what about this? Your family's here to give the items you pay?
Here, wait a sec.
Huh? There?
One of my items I didn't get because I tell you my cash.
Yeah, that's the stuff you paid for.
The stuff that you paid
No,
for.
something didn't get cash. My fault. I paid for everything.
Oh, you paid for everything on that receipt.
You want a return? You want to give to your family the items you pay?
I pay in card, so I can't return it, right?
You can. Just let me know. You want to give it to your family or a return?
Where's your phone at?
I don't have it.
Where is it at?
And in my bag.
Okay.
I'm not this type of person. I live in the Bahamas. I'm a chef.
The officer's blunt statement, "From what I saw, you are a thief," is a powerful assertion that cuts through all of the suspect's denials and justifications. By stating he just watched her steal, presumably on video, he invalidates her claims about her character or profession. In the context of the evidence, her identity as a chef from the Bahamas becomes irrelevant. Here and now, her actions define her.
Those are your items.
I willing to pay for these too because I
No, we're beyond that.
We're
What
talking
you
about
own.
those items.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Where do you want those to
them.
go?
I
You
want them.
So they go with your family members.
These two is what I want.
No, we're not worried about what you stole. You're not paying for what you stole.
The door.
Yeah, first up.
That's hers.
I already talked to them.
Bond is 500.
Yeah, I already saw that. So they want to know if they can get your card because you got to pay $500 to get out.
I don't know if they won't accept this. They don't accept credit or debit cards.
Well, they got to take out money.
Yeah.
You want her to know your
Card number.
You can, but you got to pay it to get out. You don't pay it, you stay there till tomorrow until you see the judge, and the judge will determine if you get out or not. Yeah, so you got to pay cash or they got to go to a bond. But you can't pay with a card.
You have the receipt.
I do.
You want them to know.
Yeah, you would ask her to pay for the cash and I just give them back to the money.
Ma'am? You want to talk to her real quick?
We'll do it out there.
I don't understand.
Oh, okay.
The woman was helping me pay for the stuff and they're saying teacher baby toy and they get paid for it. Teacher like this, they tell them they get paid for it.
2430 blank, that email. Oh, you already called it? Oh, my bad.
They told us to pay for it. Teacher, okay. Yeah. Come in. I know. She said we going there now.
Yeah, we're going there now. Yep. So you could go there or drop things off. It's about 45 minutes to an hour drive with all the traffic. And then it takes about 45 minutes to an hour for them to process her. Yeah. Okay? You're welcome.